Welcome to the Scambaiting Stoner Report. I'm Almond Pista, the Scambaiting Stoner. You put Quentin Larkspur, didn't you? I'm Quentin Larkspur, the Scambaiting Stoner, and this is the Scambaiting Stoner Report. We're gonna take a look at some of the scam-related news of the week. Starting off with a fourth sentenced in a government impersonation scam. A fourth person was sentenced to finally. Moyne.
Not gonna work here anymore anyway.
Okay, I'm bad with names. Moyne Pinjara pled guilty in November of 2021. So a while back, but he pled guilty and they finally sentenced him. He was in the country illegally. He worked as a money mule for an SSA scam. So basically, large amounts of money were being sent. So instead of gift cards and all of that, they would have money sent through packages, through like FedEx and everything. And Pinjara here was the guy that would then go pick up the money and wire it back to his bosses in India. So he was sentenced to 29 months in jail. He was ordered to pay $635,103 in restitutions. And because he is not a U.S. citizen and was in the country illegally, he will be deported back to India after his prison sentence is done. Don't worry, though. Don't worry. I'm sure his bosses have already replaced all four of them. I'm sure they've all been replaced, and that money is being transported safely. Don't worry. Former Zolili employee Ermenildo Valdez Castro was caught stealing money from the company in a very interesting way. He had introduced a code to scam that would skim little bits of money off of all the transactions, and it would wire it to his account. His malware infected more than 30,000 transactions, and if you're thinking it sounds kind of familiar, like you've heard this plan before.
Much money. That's the beauty of it. Each withdrawal, it's a fraction of a cent. That's too small to notice. But you take a few thousand withdrawals a day, you space it out over a couple of years, that's a few $100,000.
Just so there was no confusion, Castro had named the files on his computer the Office Space Project, because as he told the police, the scam was inspired by the movie Office Space. Castro has been accused of stealing more than $300,000, including $260,000 from the transactions and $40,000 in company merchandise. He is due in court on January the 26th. We all know reality TV stars are just awful. I don't watch TV much anymore. But reality shows are probably some of the worst. Already a scam because they're not really a reality. That's not. When in reality are you stranded on an island and are voted off one by one? But then some can come back and stuff. It's a weird situation. Life is not a game show. Life is a... Some people will tell you it's a game. We're getting far off the course here. Reality TV show Jen Shaw.
Shut the f up! I've got married! Okay.
I had never heard of her before, but apparently it's she was a celebrity from the show, the hit show Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, because that's what we need to know. We need to know all the latest gossip and drama facing them Real Housewives in Utah.
Homeland Security.
We're looking for Jen Shaw.
She just left.
Can you just say if my husband were what?
You're
Your hair
dying.
is so long.
Hi. Wait, there's police. We're good.
Hi.
Reality show Jen Shaw. This last segment might need to be reshot, but who knows? Reality show Jen Shaw was sentenced to 6.5 years in jail for running a telemarketing scam. Because, we may know and love her. We may know and love her from the Real Housewives. Her real bread and butter was actually at the top of a big scam center, that targeting a lot of elderly people and stuff. But so they would sell fake services for online businesses, and I believe they also sold you the online business ideas and shit. Like they would, she was more like, she was accused, and I guess she pled guilty, so she was sentenced to jail for it and everything. She sold leads of potential your potential victims to the different sales floors, which would then carry out the actual sales and scams and everything, and they would just bleed their victims dry. They would set up businesses, and under different names they would sell them services that didn't exist, and they would just bleed them until they had nothing left. And so she was one of the main orchestrators of that. She would tell people, make sure you're not setting up businesses in any of your names. Make sure you're always using other people's names. Make sure you're using private messaging apps, deleting any kind of messages and traces of anything. Make sure to just lie and cover up all of your actions in it. She knew what she was doing was wrong, and she pled guilty. She only got 6.5 years, which is better than nothing, but it's better than 29 months. She also had to forfeit a bunch of things. There was a house, in the thing I read, there was an address given. Let's pull that up. The police seized that as part of everything. But then she had to forfeit $6.5 million in cash, 30 luxury items, 78 counterfeit luxury items. They're not worth as much, clearly. And she had to pay $6.6 million in restitution. Unfortunately, because she's, from the United States, they can't deport her back to India when her prison sentence is done, but she is from Utah. Those are just some of the scam news I found. There was more. We could talk about more, but why bother? We'll do that in next time, right? It's always next time. Until next time. Scambaiting Stoner, Almond Pista, Quentin Larkspur.
You know, this one like you said, where I take another hit. I'm a color scammer that will put them in the sun. So I was this time to commit another crime. I say I got a photo, I'm a scam made it so